Hi, this is Zen101 here with a new commentator, Sufra, doing a SPARKYZ versus Samson Khan game in the Shinhan Winners League that was played a little while back. This is the second set. We're just pretty much just choosing random sets to commentate while there's a bit of a break in the pro scene after the OSL and this league actually have finished. This match is going to be between the Protoss player Stork and the Terran player go.go. go.go, of course, winning the last set against Samson Khan's Terran player. I'm not actually sure who it was, but it was definitely on the map Destination. Should be a pretty exciting game. It's played on the map Medusa, which tends to have pretty brutal matches. Definitely a Protoss favoured map. Tell us a little bit about these players, Sufra.
I've got go.go for SPARKYZ and Stork for Samson Khan. From seeing from the records, go.go doesn't have a great versus P record. He's around 39%. And Stork does a bit better does pretty well against Terran, with about a 60% win ratio.
Sorry, just going to interrupt to get starting positions. go.go is go.go is at the left position as the green Terran, and Stork is on the right. This being Medusa, of course, it's a three-player map, so there's one more spawn down the bottom. Yeah, just looking at the stats, you're right. Stork definitely does have a significant advantage over go.go in this map, and in general, his versus Terran is actually fairly incredible. I'm actually not too sure of the statistics of this map in this matchup. Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about that, Sufra.
It has here that for Protoss versus Terran, it's got a 68% favor. Protoss wins 68% of the time, and
yeah, that's definitely a significant advantage. Just looking at the map and seeing previous games on it, it's definitely going to be because, I think, because of the lack of high ground for the Terran to defend against using tanks, and the relatively wide choke. I'm just thinking that definitely a good map for early pressure from the Protoss. 10-15 gate, definitely a viable strategy on this map. And because of that wide choke, it really forces the Terran player to generally wall in, and fire that hero there, looking fairly happy. Definitely forces them to wall in, and I think forces them, this threat of early pressure, to get early siege, and definitely forces them to go for this fast expand. And it looks like Stork is setting up for a 12 Nexus. Because this is definitely a very good build, very good economic build, and definitely viable on this map, despite the fact that the positions are relatively close together, because of the Terran player being forced to go for that early siege and not really have that many troops out generally. Just looking at, or just from previous games, this map's also pretty vulnerable to Reaver play. What are your predictions for this map? For this match, Roller?
Well, it seems to be heavily weighted in Stork's favour. Got go.go setting up his factory at the moment. He's got his gas going.
Looks like go.go's scouted wrong first, and I believe Stork also. Shouldn't play into too much. Part of this 12 Nexus build, a big weakness of it is that it is quite weak to early pressure on maps that are relatively close together. Generally, you really need to get your two gateways down straight after that to be able to have any hope of defending from early pressure. Looks like Stork's probe going to come under fire by that marine, and probably not going to be able to get a scout in. Another interesting part of this map is that mid-game bulldog sort of attacks, using a shuttle with zealots in it, shelling the tanks, is also very viable, considering that the tanks can come under fire from the Dragoons as well, and there's no high ground for the tanks to use. Like I said earlier on, looks like go.go is going for that extra, or that command center now. Stork will definitely want to expand pretty soon so that the economic advantage he gained from his opening build isn't lost. Stork's, I think go.go is definitely going to be put on the back foot from the onset by Stork. He's definitely a far stronger player and more experienced by the looks of things. Significantly more games. Jang B looking pretty chill there. Generally doesn't really look anything but chill, I have to say.
You can see the machine shop spinning, so it's most likely researching Siege. He's got some vultures out. Probably.
Oh god. It could also be for mines as well. Mines are also fairly useful at holding the expansion, but I think you're right. It probably is going to be for Siege. Another interesting part of this map is the broken ground that is in the middle of the map and pretty much everywhere. It really makes makes it hard for the Terran to push out with a slow push. Looks like Stork is going to come in and put a bit of early pressure. Yeah, I was right. It is for mines actually. Looks like this Zealot going to sacrifice stuff to take out those mines. go.go should be alright from this pressure. This isn't going to be anything terrible. Those mines going to stop anything that Stork can really do. It's a pretty smart play, really, considering that tanks are fairly vulnerable at the start to early Dragoon pressure. It would be interesting to see the tech route that Stork goes, see if he does go for that mid-game Bulldozer attack, or maybe even goes for Reavers. I imagine seeing that the mines are out.
Takes down a Dragoon.
Yeah, and that Dragoon looking rather weak. I imagine now that mines are out that he probably will go for Robotech first to get the observers out to be able to see those mines. Sorry, looks like Robotech is going down. Probably setting up for another expansion here.
See the starport going up for go.go.
Starport going down for go.go. That's a pretty good build, pretty strong build. One factory into starport after the expansion. It's a good build. It definitely will hurt Stork economically if he can get those vultures in.